Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly. And we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. We're going to be looking at the market and we're going to be looking at some swing ideas for next week. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description of the video. Also, if you wouldn't mind, if you find benefit in today's video, please be sure to hit the like button. And if you have any questions for us, email us info@t3live.com. Again, info@t3live.com. All right, here we go with another weekly video for you. Okay, so the first thing I do with these videos is review the market, and as you can see, the market turned bearish. I don't know that we closed below this bar's low. We typically need to close below it, but I mean, it's turning bearish. That's the cues. The SPY closed well below and on its way to retest this year's low, and the IWM is almost there. So the charts turned bearish for sure, but the fact that the IWM has dropped as much as it has, to me, indicates that we may be due for a bounce first before we drop. So you got it? So the charts did turn bearish, but I'm not sure we're gonna drop Monday, Tuesday. I think we might actually be in for a bounce first before possibly continuing lower towards the second half of the week or next week or so. So we'll have to wait and see. And my rationale for that is mostly the IWM already reached support. Okay, the SPY dropped a lot already also. And the Q's weekly chart is at the rising 20 MA, so there is some support there. But yes, the charts turned bearish, and we can look at the monthly. That chart, no matter which way you look at it, it is just not bullish. I don't care which way we look at it, that's not bullish. That's the SPY and that's the IWM, and those are the monthly charts, by the way. Those are the very charts that we need to look a little bit bullish for us to have a longer term bullish view of the market, and they don't look good. They don't look bullish at all. But it may take a while before we get going, but the longer picture is now looking clearly and definitely bearish. So that's gonna be probably the longer term bias for me, but day by day, week by week, it'll be different based on the setup on the daily chart mostly. Okay, so yeah, the market really had a bearish couple of days last week. Here's what I got in terms of swing ideas. I dropped a longer, more extensive watch list in the description if you want to get the whole watch list. But these are the ones that I like the most for Monday. So ACAD, so it had the breakout, which I played and came in, but it's basing and a lot of bottoming tails. So there is some demand here as evident by those bottoming tails. It just needs to take out 2105 or so. If it can take out 2105, I like it higher. Okay, on the ACAD. CHD is Church and Dwight, is totally defensive, consumer defensive stock. Their most famous product is the Arm & Hammer baking soda. So this is usually recession proof, and it's got a daily base breakout, and stop would be right here. Okay, Church and Dwight honestly has been in an uptrend since, I mean, as far as my charts can go, all the way to the 90s, early 90s. This is the only time that you could say it is breaking the monthly uptrend. It's the only time in 27 years or so. Okay, but usually the first break of the uptrend fails, meaning it goes right back into the uptrend, usually. The China might be due for a bounce because Chinese stocks dropped a lot last week, so it might be due for a bounce, but I don't like the trend that much. So from the China stocks, the main one that I like is the RLX, which has a weekly buy setup. So it's got a really nice weekly buy setup over 258, stop under 195, or tighter stop would be under 215, which is the daily pivot. So this daily pivot, entry over 260, let's just say. And then target, I don't know, could have a long-term target, but of course it would need the market to cooperate. Could, you know, we're talking 14 bucks. No, that's not 14. That should be, that's 12.75. But again, that's only if the market works. So I have EDU, TM, RLX, and VIPs. Those are all China stocks. EDU has a nice hourly base breakout. So notice gap down, got bought, gap down, got bought, and then on Friday actually gapped up a little bit and then got bought. So over the base, it's not quite a base, but over Friday's high, stop down here under Thursday's low. Okay, on the EDU, and skipping over to the VIPS, has a daily buy setup. A little bit sloppy. The whole market is sloppy. Long over 1480, stop under 14. Okay, on the VIPS. HLLY is a 1, 2, 3 on the daily chart. So long over whichever is higher. I think they're both equal actually. 308, 306. Over 308, stop under 264, and target 1 would be the prior high. 360, target 25 bucks. RLX we talked about. TMF bottomed. That's the leveraged ETF for TLT. Okay, I was lucky enough to get it in the pre-market on Friday at 825, I believe 825 or 826, and I like it higher still long term. Notice the weekly is trying to transition higher, and then if you look at the TLT, which is the 20-year treasuries, so let's pull up the longer term chart, or TMF, doesn't matter. If you look at it, it's had a huge drop now to major support. In fact, it hasn't revisited this point since 2013, 2014, and from 180 to 100 bucks. So it looks good for a bounce to maybe 120, I would say at least. And so I like the treasuries higher. TMF is my preferred choice because it's leveraged and also lower price, which means it wouldn't require as much. It wouldn't use up as much buying power. Okay, so those are that's the bullish list. Here's the bearish list. I got ACI, Albertsons, gap down a couple weeks ago, and it's been basing bearishly. So I like it short under the base and stop above it. So entry for this would be under 1976, stop over 2025. I always look at playing breakdowns, breakouts, 1, 2, 3 patterns after a gap. So when I see a stock that has a decent gap, I save it. On Friday, the I triggered short. That's pretty good. How did I find the EYE? Because after the gap I saved it, kept waiting for it to either break out or break down. It's set up as a breakdown, called it short. The same with the ZIMV, I think. Yeah, no, not ZIMV. There was another play that triggered similar to the I. ZIMV is still basing, that could end up with a breakdown, but it's not ready. So ACI short, CAG 1, 2, 3. So short under 34.80. I'd give it to 34.79, stop over 35.26, and target I would say 33.20, and then maybe if the market cooperates 32.30, 32.50, let's say. But it's a beautiful 1, 2, 3 pattern. CARA is not as tight of a setup, but it's exactly the same as the I, the EYE, right? So gap down, got sold, and it's got a base breakdown, but it's not as tight of a base. That's the issue with it. ICL is an ADR, has a 1, 2, 3 short under 685 by 710. Stop would be over 710. I don't normally play ADRs, but it looks good. Here's a better one, I think. And then this is even better still, I believe. So 1, 2, 3 after a gap. So JD under 40 by 41.40 short. PSTG under 23.25 by 23.90. Now in terms of targets, you have to zoom out or go to the larger time frame. Target is $22, the prior low. Okay, and then TWKS, it looks lower. I wish the stop was tight, because I would definitely do it. So short right here, stop right here. So it's a big stop. At any rate, I already completed the newsletter for Monday. If you're a subscriber, check it out by going to your customer portal on the T3 Live website, or just wait for the email to hit your inbox by Monday morning before the open. All right, and that will do it. This has got to be the shortest video I've done in a long time, but I hope you found benefit in it. And as I said, if you have, please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe to our channels for more educational videos. And lastly, reach out, info@t3live.com. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. I'm Sami Abu Saad with T3 Live. Best of luck with your trading next week. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the weekend as well.